Welcome to the Be Well and Ground podcast, where we come together to nurture our bodies, our families, and our lives in a way that's sustainable, healthy, and full of heart. I'm your host, Emily, and each week we'll connect with wellness experts, passionate professionals, and fellow mamas to bring you practical tips and inspiration on everything from motherhood and health to gardening and low-tox living. This is a space for community where we lift each other up with actionable advice, support, and the tools you need to create more balance in your life. Whether you're looking to grow your garden, simplify your wellness routine, or just find that little bit of peace in your busy day, we've got you covered. So grab a cup of tea, join the conversation, and let's journey toward a more balanced, more vibrant life together. Today on the Be Well and Ground podcast, we're talking about something that every parent thinks about, and that is sleep. I'm joined by Molly, the founder of Sweet Sleep and Wellness. She's a former labor and delivery nurse, trained midwife, and sleep consultant who helps families gently guide their babies toward healthy sleep habits. In this episode, we talk about the importance of sleep for both babies and moms, why sleep deprivation isn't something we should push through, and how families can support better sleep without harsh sleep training methods. If you're in the newborn stage, navigating toddler sleep, or simply feeling exhausted as a parent, this conversation is full of insight and encouragement for you. So let's dive in. This is our very first, if you're watching online, our very first PM podcast. So we kind of shifted. So it's kind of cool though, because we are talking about a very awesome subject and it's talking about sleep. So how fitting is that?
That's perfect.
I know, right? Perfect.
Yeah.
But I'm chatting today here with Molly. She is the owner of Sweet Sleep and Wellness. So I'm going to go ahead and hand the floor over to you. If you want to start with just a quick bio, come to give us a little bit about yourself and tell us about what Sweet Sleep and Wellness, how it came to be.
Absolutely. Emily, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here. And yes, I love that we're chatting about sleep at nighttime. And you were just telling me that you just put your little one to bed. So that's
I know. I didn't plan it, but no, I definitely intentionally planned it. Yes.
Yeah, that's so perfect. I would love to tell you about myself. So my name is Molly. I am a previous RN. I have a bachelor's degree in nursing. I worked in labor and delivery and postpartum for over 10 years. I also have a master's degree in women's health, and I was at one time a certified nurse midwife. So I have midwife training. I completed my master's degree in that specialty, and so that's my passion. I have two children who are now 16 and 20. So I am out of the little phase into the big phase. And I am just passionate about all things women's health, moms, postpartum, pregnancy, and most importantly, sleep.
Nice. I think we have a lot of overlap in our businesses because I do toddler yoga and I also do prenatal yoga. And recently I'm doing training for postnatal and baby and me. So it's like we have the same kind of overlap, which is great to talk about this because this is stuff that we're talking about in classes. It's stuff that we chat about. How's your kid sleeping? How are you? Most of us are always saying we're not sleeping, unfortunately, but it's great to have you on here. So I would love to chat a little bit more. You spent a very long time, you said, in labor and delivery nurse. What was that shift for you? What kind of made you kind of convert over to education for sleep?
Actually, I shifted over to being a stay-at-home mom.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I stayed at home for over 18 years.
Nice.
And through that 18 years, I continued to grow and develop in all things mom, pregnancy, postpartum, still learning and growing in all of that. But most importantly, as I was having babies of my own, I was learning more about sleep and really the importance of why we need to teach our babies sleep and the impact of, and we'll get into that, but the impact of mom's mental and emotional health when we don't sleep. And I truly became super passionate about sleep, honestly, through my own experience with my own children.
I love that. I think a lot of the great professionals out there, businesses, come from something that they're passionate about. And sometimes with the passion is something that you truly experience yourself because you can really teach it because you've been in it, you've been in the trenches, you know how to get through it, which I think is really great to have a consultant that has been in there or been in your shoes. So would you like to talk a little bit, we can kind of switch gears, maybe about your approach and your philosophy. So perhaps when someone might hear sleep consultant, they might have some maybe negative connotations to that. Would you be able to speak a little bit about how your approach is gentle and kind of what you go about when you come to sleep consulting?
Absolutely. That's actually one of the things that I'm really passionate about when I speak with my clients is if you hire me as your sleep consultant, you're getting all of me.
Mm,
And that includes my nursing background, my midwife
mhm.
background, my 20 years of being a mom. I bring it all into what I do with sleep and how I work with parents. And one of the things that I always tell my parents is I'm never going to ask you to do something with your own baby that I never would have done with my
Mm.
own.
Yeah.
And most of the time, the first question is, "Are you gonna do cry it out?" And I would say, "Absolutely not. I did
Yeah.
not do that with my own children. I would
Mhm.
never recommend that you do it with yours."
Yeah. So I think I remember reading, is your framework, is it called Rest, Recover, Thrive? Is that
It
right?
is.
Yeah.
It
Do you want to talk
is.
about that a little bit more?
I would love to talk about that. Rest is a necessity.
Hmm.
It's not a luxury. It's not something that we can go without. And when we put the framework of bringing rest first,
Hmm.
that brings recovery.
Mm.
We can't recover without rest.
Yeah.
And that includes moms, especially for postpartum, but also babies.
Yeah.
Babies need sleep and rest. And with rest and recovery, everyone can thrive. And really, that's my passion is to get families to understand that this doesn't have to be a season that you just get through, that
Yeah.
you white knuckle through. You truly can thrive as a
Hmm.
family if everyone is getting the rest that they need.
Yeah. That's really big. How do you balance honoring that? Like, what does
Mhm.
that conversation look like? Can you give us an example of honoring, the parents' instincts, but also the science behind your framework and what works?
Absolutely. One of the things I really talk to my parents about is nervous system balancing
Okay.
and keeping attachment. Parents call me and they're very concerned of, is this going to break my baby's attachment? Is this going to break the work
Hmm.
that we've been doing? And I reassure them that there's nobody better to have on their team than me. I
Yeah.
understand nervous system healing. I absolutely believe that we need to be attached to our babies. And so I start with that framework and reassure
Okay.
parents that we are always keeping the relationship as number one. We're not abandoning our babies at all. We're
Hmm.
actually teaching them skills that they need to
Yeah.
thrive so everyone can thrive.
That's awesome. So would you say, like talking to moms and parents, are there any myths that come up when it comes to sleep consultant or that parents are coming to you with? Something about baby sleep. Do you find there's quite a few of them?
Absolutely. I think one of the number one things is even the word sleep training.
Right. Yeah.
It has a huge negative connotation.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I think a lot of parents don't even pursue it because they see the word training and they think rigidity and rules
Hmm.
and what I like to teach my parents is a mind shift of you're going to teach your child almost everything, right?
Hmm.
You're going to teach them, you're going to potty train them. That's a teaching.
Hmm.
You're going to help them learn to walk and ride bikes and tie their shoes and learn their ABCs. And sleep is absolutely no different.
Yeah. That's so true. So is there, I guess, on the longs of parents, what about like pediatricians? Is there anything that myths come along with doctors that you wish they would be educating parents about baby sleep? Is there
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think honestly it goes along with what I just said that I
Okay.
really wish that pediatricians educated moms from birth, from that very first visit, that sleep is something that we can teach from birth. And, our babies come out and they don't know night and day, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That's a skill we teach them.
Mhm.
And if we start with that basic foundation and go from there and just instill healthy sleep hygiene, which is what
Yeah.
I like to talk about from birth,
Mhm.
it would really just set up our moms so much more success during their postpartum recovery. But then also as the babies are growing and maturing and getting into different stages of development, setting them up for success with sleep.
Mhm. Yeah. I would love to. You kind of just talked about the moms. That kind of reminded me. Can we quickly pivot over? Because sleep, when babies don't sleep, mommy ain't sleeping either. You really touched about how postpartum wellness is a huge piece of your business as well as your personal passion, too. How does that tie in? Can you share a little bit more how the postpartum wellness ties into the sleep work?
Absolutely. I think first and foremost, going back to my own story, when I
Mhm.
was pregnant with my first son, I absolutely knew that sleep deprivation wasn't an option for me.
Right. Yeah.
And I prepared my entire pregnancy
Mhm.
to shape his sleep from birth.
Oh,
And
wow.
so with that mindset, I can share from my own postpartum journey that I was able to thrive because I was resting from the beginning. And
Oh.
so what does that look like for moms? Well,
Mhm.
during the postpartum period, we hear about hormone dysregulation,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
We hear about, healing our pelvic floors and depending on, if we had a C-section or a vaginal birth, like it's all encompassing healing, nervous system regulation. And if we're not sleeping, our bodies are literally not healing.
Mm,
Uh,
that's
In,
true.
in all of those categories.
Yeah.
So it is crucial for a mom in the postpartum period. And I like to tell my moms that the first 40 days of recovery
Mhm.
really sets you up for the next 40 years
Oh,
of what your health is going to look like.
wow.
And if we're not taking care of ourselves in that first 40 days of postpartum, it really can radically shift
Mhm.
our hormones for long term. Again, our pelvic floor recovery, our nervous system, we can literally get stuck in fight or flight
Mhm.
and for years not get out of it because we're so sleep deprived. Sleep
Mhm.
deprivation almost becomes a way of life. And one of the things that I wish that we could really take out of society and out of our moms is that not sleeping is not a badge of honor.
How right? It's like you come to class and you're like, "I only got 2 hours. What about you?" You know?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not, and we need to empower moms and get back to the mindset of we are loving and caring for our bodies when we are saying, "I am a priority. My sleep is a priority. My
Mhm.
baby's sleep." So moms are coming to class and they're saying, "I got 12 hours of sleep last night. I got."
What?
Right, exactly. Let's make that the conversation, and
Mhm.
let's turn it back into, a healthy comparison versus, you know,
Yeah.
unhealthy comparison.
So that's actually a great segue. So if there is someone listening right now who has a baby that isn't sleeping, like, where do they start? Is there can you kinda walk us through, is there a good age for that to start? Is it any age, or what would you recommend?
I think the first place to start is to know, number 1, you've done nothing wrong.
Mm,
This isn't shaming. This isn't, again, no guilt, no shame. I want moms to know that they've done nothing wrong.
mhm,
However, their babies are absolutely capable of sleeping.
mm,
And it is a skill that needs to be taught and learned.
mhm.
And to answer your question, you can start at any age.
Okay.
There's a lot of controversy about
Oh,
birth versus, 4 months, six
mhm.
months. I like to call it sleep shaping from
Oh,
birth.
okay.
And basically, what we're doing is we're just teaching healthy sleep hygiene
Yeah.
to our newborns. You can officially start sleep training at 4 months or 16 weeks, and that looks very different from a
Mhm.
newborn to a 4-month-old.
Okay.
But a lot of it just starts with routines. Again, not rigidness, but setting up healthy routines. Babies thrive on that.
Mhm,
So, what does that look like? A bedtime routine. 30 minutes before bedtime, what are we doing? We're winding down, we're taking a bath, we're reading books. And babies learn that, oh, when I do this, this is calm time. It means sleep is coming. And that's one of the best places that I can suggest a family start.
okay. So would you say that there's, a good sleep routine? Like, what would be good for each stage? If you could classify it, like a newborn, what would be, good shaping for that versus, a 4-month-old versus a toddler? Is it when they sleep a long stretch? Is it they wake rested? Or what would be your your checkbook, I guess, or you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
let's start at like a 4-month-old or a 16-week-old because
Okay.
newborns that can be kind of
Yeah, it's like,
all over the place. Yes.
yeah.
So what I would recommend if I'm starting with a family, I would definitely recommend that it's about 30 minutes before bedtime that things wind down with a four
Mhm.
month old. I usually suggest we feed not to sleep
Okay.
because that is a sleep association that we need to break if we want babies to learn independent sleep. That does not mean I'm anti breastfeeding. Actually, I'm 100% pro breastfeeding. I breastfed both of my children until 22 months and
Mm.
successfully had them sleeping through the night at 9 weeks. So, yeah, so we would start bedtime routine with a feeding. And then, like I said, we would do a gentle bath, books, quiet time, just gently calming them down. And then the most
Mhm.
important part is putting them down awake
Mm.
so they can learn the skill to fall asleep independently.
Okay, and that you said that would be ideally for, like, the 4 months?
Yes,
Okay,
we can start with that routine at 4 months old. Yes. And
gotcha.
before that, you can absolutely start. We're
Mhm.
just not as rigid if they're under 16 weeks old.
Gotcha. Now,
Yeah.
how does this is just something that came to my mind. Babies go through so much developmental changes. Like, how do you sleep shape along with regressions? Like, we are just now coming out of the 4-month regression.
Mm.
Like, I don't know. Can you do that? Can you just keep having hygiene with that when it's chaos? Or I don't know. I'm asking this for me.
One of the success stories I love to share with my parents
Mhm,
is that, again, talking about my own children, so I sleep shaped both from birth.
mhm.
We never had any regressions.
What? Like, none? Like,
Never. So when children learn healthy hygiene,
okay.
they are able to go through the quote regular regression stages usually very smoothly.
Like, mild, if anything.
They're
Yeah.
mild, if anything. Yes. And that's one
Interesting.
of the things that I work with my parents on
Okay.
is that a lot of their questions after we get done with a 2-week program and everyone's sleeping great and they're,
Right. And you're
you
like,
know,
"Oh, he's gonna start teething or rolling soon."
and we talk about how we navigate that, what we do with illness, what we do with
Okay,
travel. Yes, we cover all those
gotcha.
things.
But sometimes, their development throws them off and we have a good stretch, and then you're like, "Well, will it still work if we're going through that?"
It
So
will still work. And what I find is that, again, babies thrive on routine.
mhm,
And yes, things happen, illness and sickness and teething. But I find that babies, toddlers even go through those stages so much smoother when they
mhm.
have healthy hygiene before that. And
Yeah.
they're able to adapt much quicker afterwards when those events are over. Yes.
So let's talk about this. If someone was interested in pursuing, sleep consulting, sleep shaping with you, can you walk us through what it looks like working with you? So let's say that they contacted you. What can they expect first?
Absolutely. What they can expect first is I do a free 15-minute discovery call
Okay.
because I want to make sure that I'm a good fit for my families just as much as they're a good fit for me.
Mm,
And so in that free 15-minute phone call, I just hear more about what's going on in the home. And I
mm,
want to hear mom and dad's heart and where they're at and what they're
okay.
struggling with and what their goals are. And in that 15-minute call, we really can determine if we're a good fit for each other. And if we
Mm,
decide to move forward, they get a personalized intake form where I get more information. And then from that, I create a customized sleep plan based on mom and dad's philosophies and what fits best for them with schedules. I give all my parents 2 methods to choose from. And that from that point, we do a kickoff call and then we start working together. Most of my plans last for 2 weeks. The parents work with me for 14 days.
okay.
They get unlimited tech support from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. for 14 days. And I really am in your back pocket through that entire journey.
Wow, that's awesome. Now that actually just sparked a question. So you said you kind of create custom schedules for your parents. Do you, I guess, have you heard of Moms on Call?
I have, yes.
Okay, so how does that work with sleep training? Is it similar to that? Like, are all 6 months old? Do you help with like that routine of naps, or do you kind of customize it based on the parents and the kiddo?
So I do look at every family dynamic,
Okay.
and every family's different, whether it's they have 1 child or 4 children. If they have a baby and they have 3 other kids that they need to be taken care of. I definitely look at the whole picture
Okay.
when we do go to create a nap schedule, a nap plan, obviously always keeping in mind what is best for baby.
Right.
But then I understand, obviously, life happens. So yes, so I look at it holistically.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, because I was referred to Moms on Call when I was a first time mom. I was like, cool, a schedule. And I was like, wait, is this a normal schedule? So it's good that you kind of take something and you kind of
Mhm.
make it fit best for that family, especially if there's other kiddos involved too.
I do. And what parents don't understand and don't get me wrong, Moms on Call is great. And there's many other online programs that are wonderful. The big difference between doing an online program and working with me is that I have eyes on the situation.
Right.
And so a schedule for a 6-month-old, anyone can pull that offline, right?
Yeah.
But what I look at is, what does your baby need? And wake windows can vary greatly. Some babies need a shorter wake window than others. And that's where I see a lot of parents slip up is if they say, well, a typical schedule says my 6-month-old needs to do X. And I said,
Yeah.
well, yes, but our babies are not robots. They're humans,
Yeah.
right? And
Mhm.
so that's where the customization comes in and literally when I say you have me in your back pocket for 14 days, you do. And my parents are checking in and I'm tweaking schedules. And even if sometimes, Emily, it's even, we need to push nap up 15 minutes
Mm.
or bedtime up 30 minutes. And parents will say, oh my goodness, I never would have
Yeah.
thought of that. But that literally just changed everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, do you have different kind of plans? You have a quick 30-minute Ask Me Anything session and then personalized plans. How do parents know what's best for them? Is that kind of the discovery call to chat about options? Or if you want to,
So yeah, every parent gets the option of the free 15-minute discovery call. The Ask Me Anything call, I reserve that for clients that have worked with me before. So
okay.
clients that have gone through sleep training and their child has good sleep hygiene and good sleep habits.
Okay.
But the Ask Me Anything call would be if something came up in the future and they
Okay.
needed a quick 30 minutes of fine tuning or, this is going on. What do? We need your help.
Okay.
Majority of my parents, if they're first time working with me, they would choose a 2-week plan.
Okay.
And there's no magic number within the 2 weeks. That's just the average of when I see sleep improve. And of course, if we need to extend it by a few days, we can absolutely do that.
Okay. So for your clients, is there a kind of like, I wouldn't say warning signs, or what would be some bad hygiene? I guess if that makes sense. Like that would be some signals like, hey, maybe we should kind of consult someone because I didn't know this was a good sleep shaping. Do you have any of those that you could share with us?
And
Yeah.
the number one is probably the most controversial, and
Oh gosh.
that would be feeding to sleep.
Okay. So talk about babies specifically.
Yep.
Yeah.
Feeding
Okay.
to sleep would be on. And to be honest with you, I've had toddlers that are still needing bottles
Okay.
at nap time and bedtime, and some toddlers needing bottles in the middle of the night to go back
Oh.
to sleep.
Okay. So that'd probably be
Yes.
one of those.
Yes.
Gotcha. The other thing that comes to mind is if you see it online, it's like one more book or I need some water.
Oh,
Do you have any clients that have that too? Would that be another like something?
yes, absolutely. Emily, one of the things that I work with all of my parents with are boundaries
Yeah.
and practicing boundaries, not only at bedtime, but during the day.
Mhm.
And a lot of my parents are first time parents and they haven't yet experienced the negative consequences of not having boundaries with our kids.
I gotcha.
So we talk a lot about setting expectations at bedtime
Mhm.
and that it's okay to say, we're going to read 2 books at bedtime, but you get to pick the book, obviously, if they're old enough. Or we're going to sing one song. What song would you like to sing? But babies thrive with safety and security.
Mhm.
And when our parents give that to them, they see their babies thrive. And I can think of one family in particular where the mom said to me, I don't think this is going to work. And she was 21 months old and within 1 to 2 nights going to bed on her own, staying in her crib all night long for the first time ever.
Whoa.
And mom and dad were shocked. And I just said to them, she has the capability. She was always capable of doing this. She just
Mhm.
needed you to set the boundaries.
Mm, that's good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have, I guess, most of your clients, would you say that they come to you normally with babies, or do you have a lot of clients that come with a little bit older kiddos?
I'm certified to work with children up to 7 years old, but I find the majority of my clients are coming to me 2 years and younger.
Okay.
And I find the clientele that are finding me are a lot of moms that have co-slept and for whatever reason that's not working for them anymore.
Hmm.
Or I have a lot of moms that have been breastfeeding to sleep and that's not working for them anymore. So I'm finding my niche is in the under two, demographic.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to share about sleep or your business or anything that we missed before we kind of move into some more personal questions for you?
Yeah. So one question I didn't fully answer
Oh,
is,
yeah.
so I do have postpartum packages. If a mom is looking for more support, whether it be with emotional health or questions with her physical health, I do work with moms postpartumly virtually, and I can do that with 4-week packages or 6-week packages.
Okay.
And that looks the same as we have a kickoff call. We talk once a week, and she also has access to me through text messaging as much as she needs me. And during that time, we also talk a lot about obviously newborn sleep shaping and
Hmm.
what that looks like.
Oh, that's perfect. I love it.
A lot of moms love that because getting out of the house with a newborn is difficult. And
Hmm.
so they can meet with me virtually and then they have access to me through text messaging if they need more one-on-one support.
Yeah. Now, that kind of support that you offer, is it questions based on having a baby, or is it what kind of support do you provide to the mommy?
I find out where they're at
Okay.
with every aspect: mental, emotional,
Got it.
physical, how's feeding going, how's sleeping going. And
Mm,
then I customize my support to what she needs and what she's going through. And as you know, as
nice.
a postpartum mom, that
Mhm.
can change week to week. Yes. So, one of the things that I love about my approach with that is that I'm able to meet that mom where she's at. And it's not like she's coming to a class with 12 other moms needing to
Mhm.
share my attention. She gets me one on one.
Another thing that reminds me is you hear about like finding your tribe, but sometimes
Mhm.
your tribe can be like getting food delivered or having a postpartum support one on one. That can also
Yes.
be part of that tribe. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be a neighbor. You can also reach and get that support in other areas. I don't think that's talked about too, but I think that'd be very beneficial, especially I'm just starting to lose my hair. So
Mm.
my hormones are changing. So yeah, it's very important to have that set up and having someone in your corner. I go,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I'm so glad you brought that up because that's one of the things that I really am passionate about when I
Mhm.
work with my postpartum moms is I have a tribe behind me. I have lactation consultants, I have pediatricians, I have
Yes.
all of these people that I trust. So
Mhm.
if a mom needs somebody, I can say, I have somebody for you.
Nice.
And I take that stress off of her of
Mhm.
having to go and find that support on her own. So
Mhm.
I'm kind of like a middleman or a liaison
Yeah.
support for her. But yes, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Thank
amazing.
you.
I would love to talk a little bit more about you just as a mom, as a person, if that's okay. So
Sure.
you said there's a 16-year-old and a 20-year-old? Yeah.
Yes.
Two boys? Is
2
that
boys.
two boys? So how has that shaped you and the way you show up for your families right now? Like, what are your, sorry, we can start with that and then I'll ask more fun questions.
I think the biggest way it shapes me is proving how effective it is when we teach our
Mm,
kids to sleep and
okay.
how I have seen that radically change my boys' lives as they've grown up.
Mm,
Even in middle school, high school, I didn't have to struggle with, go to bed early and you need to
yeah.
get more sleep. They already
Mm,
knew the importance of sleep and they would come to me and say, I don't feel as well if I don't get a good night's sleep, mom. I'm not functioning as well if I'm getting. So
mhm.
it's radically changed the way that I can speak into parents' lives and say, trust me, this is a long-term success and skill that you want to teach your children now, and you're going to reap the benefits for years to come.
I didn't even think about, teenagers going to sleep. Was
Yes.
there a certain age when they started having these great hygiene? You're like, wow, wait, I did something. Like, was there a certain age you're like, wait, is this still happening?
So obviously my boys are 4 years apart. And so when my 16-year-old was starting high school, we were sitting down having a conversation, and we asked my older son, what advice would you give your brother going into high school? And he had 2 pieces of advice. First one was get a good night's sleep every single night. Yes. And I was like, yes, wonderful.
Mama.
Yeah. Yeah. And he just said it's a game changer. It will literally change your entire high school experience if you are getting adequate sleep and you are fully rested.
Dude, that's crazy.
I know. I was
Oh,
not the thing that I expected him to say, but
right.
I was so proud of that. And it's so true. I mean, I can't tell you how many high schoolers and middle schoolers I see. These kids are not sleeping. They're walking around with energy drinks. It's an epidemic that we are going to negatively reap serious benefits from the years to come.
It's so hard too because like two things on this. One, my latest birth, I didn't sleep the night before. I was overdue and I got induced. I was not moving forward in my delivery or birthing because I was too tired.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I napped, I got the energy and he came out. So it's like my body knew what it needed and I was fighting it. But also in this day of age, it's still the grind of like hustle, do this, get everything done. And it's not sexy to sleep. Like it's not sexy to like rest. And we got to change that conversation because it not only impacts our babies, it impacts the babies that become teenagers, that become adults in this world. So it's just really focusing on that rest is productive too, like legit.
It's an absolute necessity.
Right.
And I love everything that you said. I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's an epidemic, and it's something that is going to reap catastrophic negative consequences on, again, just looking at our adolescent youth health. Yeah, it's going to be catastrophic. But I love what you said about your birth because that is absolutely so true. And the body is so smart. The body knows what it needs. And if we just take the time to listen and give our bodies what it needs, we would all be able to thrive so much more.
I think the other part is we don't slow down enough to know or listen to our bodies because we are moving quickly and doing things and super distracted. But when we take the time to stay still, we can kind of check in a little bit more like, oh, hey, how am I feeling? Do I need more sleep? Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say one of the things too that I love to talk to families about is balancing nervous systems. And people don't realize that actually our nervous systems heal when we sleep.
Yes.
And if we're not sleeping, it doesn't matter what else we're doing during the day to balance our nervous systems. And so I have so many parents that come to me and say, I don't want to teach my baby, to sleep independently because I've done so much work on their nervous system. And I say, that's kind of a misconception because if your baby's not sleeping, their nervous system isn't healing and developing, and you're constantly keeping them in fight or flight. And once I tell parents that, it's like a light bulb goes off and they realize, wait a minute, so you're telling me that actually I'm preserving our bond, I'm preserving their nervous system attachment? And yes, absolutely.
Wow. No, that you just blew my mind too. Did you see I was like, oh, that does make sense. So let's kind of jump a little bit more. What's one thing you think that every parent should walk away knowing after this episode? What's that one thing you kind of want to make sure they walk away with?
That sleep is absolutely essential for everyone. And it affects every area of your life.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that. Yeah, that's awesome. Now, I always love to kind of get to know my interviewee a little bit more with kind of some silly, fun questions.
Okay.
If that's okay with you.
Sure.
So what's bringing Molly the most joy outside of work right now?
Oh, that's a great question. I think seeing both my boys thrive in the different stages of life that they're in.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
kind of are they currently? You said one was in high school, right?
Yes.
What's his favorite thing right now that you love to watch him thrive in?
He is super involved with sports. He's in
Okay.
boys volleyball, cross country, and he's also in theater.
Wow, that's cool. Okay, what about your
Yeah.
youngest?
Oh, that is my youngest.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
youngest. Sorry.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, that's okay. My oldest is away at college. He's at a year-round college in Black Mountain,
Oh,
and
cool.
he is pursuing music production and audio engineering as his major.
How cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yes.
What would be the best restaurant in our Lake Norman area, in your opinion? Or, it could be anywhere. We got Concord, we got Huntersville, Charlotte.
My favorite restaurant right now in the Lake Norman area would be Sweet Greens.
Oh, I've never been.
It's amazing. I
Is
could
it-
eat there literally every day.
Okay. What should I
Yes.
get? What's your favorite?
Oh, there's a protein plate
Mm-hmm.
that I kind of customize, and I make it has steak, and I add quinoa and an avocado,
Mm.
cucumbers, and then it's a spicy cashew dressing. I'm
That sounds so
literally
good.
obsessed. And then if you were to ask me to go to any restaurant in all of Charlotte, I would want to go to Ethiopian. That's my favorite in Charlotte.
Okay, tell me about that.
Yes.
Like, that sounds so good.
It's amazing. My favorite meal there is the spicy lentils.
Oh,
It's
gosh.
incredible.
I already ate dinner, and this is this sounds so good.
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, what about a hobby you wish you had more time for?
Being at the beach.
Ooh. Now, at the beach, do you like to relax, read a book? What kind of beach goer are you?
I love sitting at the shore with my
Mhm.
feet in the water,
Mm,
grounding myself with the sun on my face.
mm. Oh, that sounds so magical, especially because it was so cold.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
so cold.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so speaking of grounding, what's one thing that helps you feel grounded when life feels chaotic if you're not at the beach?
If I'm not at the beach, would be just a walk outside. Just
walk
fresh
outside?
air.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
That's really good. That's a good one. What about silence or background noise?
Well, am I sleeping or am I awake?
Let's say awake.
Awake would be silence.
Okay. I got
Yeah.
you. No, that's
Yeah.
good. What's something small that instantly improves your mood?
Something small. Essential oils.
Ooh, which flavor? What flavor? What kind?
Oh, that depends.
Scent.
Eucalyptus is probably one of my ultimate favorites.
Oh, that one's so fresh and uplifting. Yeah,
Yes.
I like that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like clary sage was a good
Oh,
one.
yes.
And then yangling is just a nice earthy, but yeah, that's a fun one
Yes.
too.
Where I wear a women's blend every day called Whisper, and it has both of those.
Is it really?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good one. What song instantly changes your energy?
Oh, this is a good one. I would have to say September by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah,
And
but-
then
I was like, can you sing it for me?
no, I'm not going to
That's
say
okay.
One of the reasons why is both of my boys love it.
Okay.
And it's part of a Disney ride that we absolutely love going
Oh.
on as a family. So it just brings me joy.
Oh, that's such a special one.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. But if listeners are interested in sleep consulting, in sleep shaping, and everything that we mentioned, how can they best connect with you?
They can check my website, which is sweetsleepandwellness.com.
Okay.
Or they can find me on Instagram, and I am sweet.sleep.midwife.molly.
Okay, perfect. And I will put everything that you just said in the show notes below. But I had so much fun chatting with you. It was so insightful for me, especially going through this season right now. I do have a toddler and my 4-month-old. So we just, I feel I want to say white knuckling, which I know I'm not supposed to, but that is what we're currently doing. But this conversation has been so helpful. And I know it's going to help a lot of moms too, as we are kind of just going on with raising these kiddos. So thank
Yeah.
you so much for chatting with me. And I'll
You're
talk
so
to you
welcome.
soon.
Thanks, Emily, for having me.
Of course.
Thank you so much for being here with me today on the Be Well and Ground podcast. I hope this episode has filled your heart with new ideas, inspiration, and a little more peace. Remember, your journey to balance is uniquely yours, and you deserve all the love and joy and the calm that comes with it. If you enjoyed today's show, I'd be so grateful if you could share it with someone who might need it, or if you could leave a review to help others find this space of support and inspiration. That would be so much appreciated. Until next time, take a moment to breathe, honor yourself, and know that you really are doing an amazing job. Sending you so much love and light. Have a wonderful day.